Hey, lovely people. So this is going to be a message for Black girls and Black women, both in this case. And I wanted to showcase a couple of about 3 pieces of content to discuss this topic about self-esteem and desirability politics among Black women. So we all know that beauty standards exist, right? We know that particularly Eurocentric beauty standards have been prized in America, and how some women feel as though they aren't as attractive or they are not as desirable as other women because of these beauty standards. Okay, so I'm going to show you something which is kind of disturbing, but you know, a lot of things are. But here we go. Here's a post. A Facebook friend says, she posts this. Let me show you guys. A Facebook friend reposted this Facebook post by an ignorant male. I think we all know there's a lot of colorism in the Black community, and some man wrote about LeBron James's wife that he said, so this is the best LeBron James could marry with 500 million. He could have worked at Burger King and had her. And as you can see, this is a darker skin, this is a brown skin Black woman. She's not ambiguous, she's not racially ambiguous. She is Black from all the way over there, right? She's clearly a Black woman. And this is kind of what a lot of Black girls are facing, and they confront when it comes to dating and desirability politics, right? And so my friend, her response to this post is, she's gorgeous, right? And she is. This woman is, I think this woman is beautiful. She says she's gorgeous. She's just not those exotic light brights y'all worship, unfortunately. And here we have someone that wrote a comment here, and she says, this is very telling of how little Black men value unambiguous Black women. So we get it. Like, these problems do exist. These problems are real. Like, colorism is real in the Black community. These desirability politics really do leave darker skinned Black women with the end of the stick, but that doesn't matter. Like, we still have to know our value, because no matter what, if we know our value, no one can prey off of your low self-esteem. No one can offer you less. No one can lowball you. So this is kind of like the message I want to get across with, when I say Black girls and Black women, we need to do better. We need to have higher confidence. We know. So I'm starting off with this post because I want y'all to know that I know what it's like. I know that this is a problem. This is clear. I mean, we're getting signals and messages all the time about colorism, and these messages we get from the mainstream media in our own community saying that Black women are not desirable, right? But it doesn't matter. We have to know that we are desirable. I was just on the phone call with my friend, and she said that she said, in order for you to exist looking the way you do means that someone that looked like you was desirable, because you wouldn't be here if someone didn't desire that woman to procreate with her, right? And I was like, oh, I had never thought about that. I was like, okay, girl, that's really smart. Thank you for sharing that with me. Okay. So now let's get into some other pieces of content that kind of speak to the message that I'm trying to convey here. Okay. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know Paris Milan. She is a very successful YouTuber, and she does kind of like news coverings in the Black community, kind of like all the drama that goes on. And she said that she was pretty disappointed with what she was seeing on TikTok and what Black girls were doing on TikTok. They were making self-deprecating jokes saying that they weren't desirable and they'll take the leftovers from white girls and blah, 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 right? So I just wanted to share this with you so you could see this as well.
to each its own. And TikTok is definitely one of those apps. We already know the amount of misogynoir that exists on TikTok. It's not only from non-Black people, but we already know the main culprits of it who are participating in it, unfortunately, is a lot of Black men. I feel that a lot of these videos have started to take a mental toll on the psyche of some young Black girls as well as Black women. I remember posting this video that this Black woman posted where she was breaking down crying because she felt melancholic at the fact that these Black girls on TikTok are saying how worthless and undesirable Black men were making them feel in order to praise other races. Now there is a reverse that is actually occurring, and instead of Black girls not allowing themselves to become defeated in mindset, they are having this "if you can't beat them, join a" mindset, and the type of videos that they're beginning to make are these extremely self-deprecating type videos where they're constantly showing the praise that white girls get from men and how everybody wants white girls and the boys are falling over them. And I'll show you guys some examples of that.
White boys will literally burn a piece of toast beyond its edible state and say that it's fine and eat the sawdust that's left of it. But when they see a dark-skinned girl in real life, they're like, huh, she's too dark. Baby, you just had me for breakfast. Now eat real life too. Come on.
It gets kind of exhausting just having people be like, you're so pretty.
Bro, white girls will literally be like, who want me? Like, literally everybody, bro. Like, just pick, and we'll take whatever the is left at this point.
Now, originally, I wasn't even going to show their faces because I thought these were young girls like 13, 14. But from my research, I learned that some of them are like 18, 19, 20 plus years old making these type of videos. I get that we live in a clout society where everybody wants to do everything for attention. And sometimes we aren't concerned about how this can affect others. But one thing that I will say is that these girls or young women are doing extreme harm to the image of Black girls and women. Not only does it make us seem extremely thirsty that we're willing to do whatever it takes to get any man to like us, but I also
Like, who want me? Like, literally everybody, bro. Like, just pick, and we'll take whatever the is left at this point.
the problem with that message is that it surpasses just being on TikTok. This is not some sort of entertainment. This is not humorous to me. These messages have a very dangerous undertone that I feel a lot of Black girls are going to internalize and actually start to believe that no one wants you. No one wants anything to do with you. And this is the lengths and the depths that you have to go to in order to get a man to be attracted to you. The sad part is some of these young women, like this one I'm going to show you, she's a Haitian girl, she's 18. She's aware of the videos, and other Black girls have told her, hey, can you stop making these videos because they're making us look bad, they're making us look thirsty, and she basically just brushed it off. I'll let you guys listen to that.
I don't normally address stupidity, so you're lucky. And listen up. I would never do anything to validate a white girl just to undermine a Black girl. I will validate all my girls. But this was no validation at all. This was simply to magnify the fact that some Black girls have to listen to the fact that their white friends who literally meet every single beauty standard in society are still complaining when some Black girls, not me, feel like they need love to still keep going because they keep getting bashed 24/7. And that's okay. It's okay to want love. Also, as for comedic purposes, it's a joke. So if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, move the along. Don't ever come to my page
I don't think that she has the range to be able to comprehend that she is uplifting white women over her, because that wasn't the first video that she did where it's like, oh, they're still complaining. You made a video basically comparing dark-skinned black girls or yourself to the burnt parts of crumbs that are like sawdust in an edible. He'll still eat it, but not you. That uplifts other races of women, whether you believe that or not, because that shows that you're basically comparing yourself to something that should be discarded, but still has some sort of value. And I don't see other races of girls having to do that. I don't see them making videos talking about all the attention that black girls are getting and them complaining about that and them telling their race of men or even non-white men or black men or whatever the case, like, hey, I'm like that discarded piece of food that still can be eaten. It's so silly. And you are 18, so you'll probably learn the hard way. And I've seen some of your other videos. They're completely despicable and they set a bad message for black girls. And you better hope and pray that this TikTok thing works out for you, because I feel like you're making these videos not understanding the long-term ramifications of your actions. You may never know who may come across those videos. You don't know if it could be an employer, it could be a teacher, it could be whoever that may come across those videos, and you lose out on an opportunity because you're so intent on trying to get clout at the expense of potentially soiling your character. But it does set a bad message. And again, these white girls are watching. You guys are giving them all of the praise they need. They don't need it from their men because they're going to get it from you. And trust me, I fully get it. The pressure that a lot of black girls are facing because they have been told on several occasions that they're not wanted. And they see on TikTok how black men are constantly showing who they desire over them. But does that mean that you're supposed to just have this defeatist mindset? No. You're supposed to get your head in the game. The first way I feel that that can be done is black girls have to stop making themselves so easily accessible. And what I mean by that is I've noticed that a lot of, unfortunately, black mothers, and I'm not saying this is every single black mother, but I have noticed a really bad habit of black mothers constantly using their black daughters as the pack mule of the family. They force them to.
All right, so that was a lot. Paris Milan does a great job of, I mean, she does an amazing job with breaking down and analyzing pop culture and current events in the Black community. I take my hat off to her, and I really appreciate this video that she made. But right, just like Paris Milan, I too understand the pressure a lot of Black girls feel about the beauty standards and how they don't necessarily match the beauty standards and how they can feel undesirable because of that. Okay. Now, she also said you got to get in the game, though. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse to devalue your own self and to make these self-deprecating jokes about how you're not desirable and how you'll just take someone's leftovers or comparing yourself to something that should be discarded. Like, that's not acceptable at all. And this is like the main message I want to say to you is that people will prey off of your low self-esteem. Men will prey, I mean, of all races. Like, it doesn't matter if they're Black, white, Asian, Arab, Latino. Like, I mean, they will prey off of your low self-esteem. So you have to have a high self-esteem, and it has to come from you. You can't get your self-esteem from society. You can't get your self-esteem from a beauty standard. You have to know within that, you are striving to be the best person you're trying to be and that you are desirable. Hey, Jerome, thank you so much. Thank you for the compliment. Okay, now, I just wanted to share one more piece of content with you that really drives home the point that people will take advantage of low self-esteem. And also people will take advantage of your desire for like social justice, okay? Like, I just want to tell you this quick story. So I was, this guy approached me and he wasn't Black, he was Arab. And he was like, oh yeah, I've always dated Black girls, da 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 da. And then he said, oh yeah, it's so sad that Black people face all this injustice. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay, I'm already suspicious of you because you're bringing that up, trying to like, whew, man, my vocabulary is lacking nowadays. He was trying to bring that up in order to lower my guard and trust him. Especially in this climate, like, you're gonna say that to me among all these in the midst of all these protests, the Black Lives Matter movement, and then the next thing, like literally 5 minutes later, he's like, "Can you come over?" Like, I don't know you, so already, like, it was a non-Black male trying to prey on the fact that I was Black and the assumption that I would appreciate his care for his, I would appreciate his perceived like social justice, him caring about social justice, and he tried to prey on me because he thought I would be easy because I'm Black. Okay, so now with that said, I have to share another piece of content with you guys about how people will try to prey on you if you do not have a high self-esteem. Now, this is my girl, Shiva 7. We all, I always showcase her stuff. But let me show you.
And a lot of men will ask, well, why, if you don't want a man, why? Psychological and emotional, and men are more physical. Okay? So that's how you understand how valuable you are. And that also should tell men how valuable
All right, y'all. I think this is enough, but you get the point. All right. We have to do better, ladies. Keep that in mind. I have to bounce, but if you have any questions, let me know. And just know that you're valuable. That you're valuable. And if it's coming from me isn't enough, there's content all over the internet to reassure you of your value. And there are women sharing their experiences everywhere to reassure you as well that they're valuable and you're valuable too. Okay?